This is the most remarkable story about the most colorful and captivating man I have ever heard of. If I could only invite one person from the past to a dinner party, it would be him. Writing this book has been the most exciting project I have ever worked on, because I have the feeling I've opened this treasure trove, and every day I'm finding new things about this man who is forgotten, and every day I think people need to know about this, because we are who we are because of him. The title of the book is The Invention of Nature, and it's a story about exploration, it's about danger, it's about passion, it's about science, it's about a new way of seeing this world, and it's really about us. It's about how we understand nature today, which all comes from one man, and that's Humboldt. Humboldt is a scientist who, unlike his contemporaries, didn't believe at all that you could just get knowledge from books. He absolutely believed that you had to be outside in nature, and he's a brave man. You know, this is not your kind of nerdy scholar. This is a man who is physically strong and fit. When he went to South America in 1799, he took 42 instruments, all packed in velvet-lined boxes so that they wouldn't be damaged. And he schlepped them up the Andes, down the Orinoco, and through the rainforest to measure nature. They were crawling on hands and knees along a high, narrow ridge that was in parts only 2 inches wide. Humboldt and his 3 companions were in single file, slowly inching forward. With no climbing equipment or appropriate clothes, this was a dangerous climb. The edge of the sharp rocks cut deeply into their hands, and they left traces of blood in the snow. They were more than 17,000 feet above sea level and struggled to breathe in the thin air. The extraordinary thing about Humboldt is that he comes up with this idea that nature is a web of life. Because he sees nature as a web of life, he also sees the threat to nature. So he comes up with this idea in 1800 of human-induced climate change. The other remarkable thing about Humboldt is that he's not working from the ivory tower of science. What he's doing is everything he finds out about nature, he writes up in books, and these books are huge bestsellers. So his ideas about nature spread across the world. Wherever you look at that time, people were inspired by Humboldt. So for example, Charles Darwin said he would have never boarded the Beagle and therefore never written The Origin of Species without Humboldt, because he had read Humboldt's books about South America. So here's a man who was the most famous scientist of his age. He was called by his contemporaries the Napoleon of science, the Shakespeare of science. Everybody knew Humboldt. He was nature's prophet in a way, and people have to know about him. Today, he's completely forgotten, at least outside the academic world. And I think he is so important that we need to remember him. So I want him to go back into the history books, and I want to place him back on the pedestal where he belongs.